What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Welcome to the show. It's the NFL Super Bowl recap, and it's a lot of stuff we got to talk about because it's been a minute since we were live to have a real conversation and talk about all this stuff. So let's get into it. We're going to start off with, because it's very relevant news, it just happened yesterday, and I'm very entertained to hear Rodney's reaction. Dak Prescott says the Cowboys are close to the Eagles, and if you look at the record, they've handled the Eagles. Now, I just want to preface this by saying, before Rodney says anything, Rain Dakota Prescott, your ass was injured half the season. So, you didn't technically lose to the Eagles. But your team got outscored by them 74-13 in two games. How? Here's my thing, and this is not a shot at the Cowboys. I don't think there is a roster in the NFL, maybe outside of the Lions, maybe a healthy Lions roster. But currently, right now, there is not a roster in the league that is close to the Eagles. They've got the best defense in the league. They've got the best running back in the league. They got in my opinion, currently the best quarterback in the league, and Jalen Hurts. They've got the two best wide receivers in the league as a tandem, in my opinion. They've got the best offensive line in the league, period. There is not a roster close to the Eagles. Plus, sure, they don't have the best head coach in the league, but he's a damn good head coach. You know who the Cowboys have? Brian Schottenheimer and Jerry Jones. So, Rodney, you're the Cowboys fan. I'm gonna let you take it from here. How did you feel about Dak at a charity event? Let's preface this. It was a charity event for cancer. But obviously the media was there because he's Dak Prescott. How do you feel about him saying this?
Dakota. Why did you open your mouth to say something that blasphemous?
He feeds me ammunition. I want you to know that.
We are nowhere near the Eagles,
Y'all
period.
aren't even near the
Be-
Commanders.
like, for him to say something like that, that is one of the most delusional things I have ever heard of anyone. That might be the most delusional thing I've heard from anyone on Dallas this year.
No,
Absolutely, absolute. One of because you're saying you're close to the Eagles, who literally destroyed, absolutely disfigured the two-time back-to-back champs. You're telling me that you're close to that team? Are you kidding me? Like you just said, they have the best running back in the league. They have the best offensive line in the league, led by Lane Johnson.
they've
They
also got the
had
best
the
defense in the league.
They had the number one defense in the league, and I said this Sunday. I said this point blank. Period. The defense was going to be a factor in the Super Bowl, and guess what? That absolutely happened. I
Hey, shout
said
out
it,
Cooper DeJean, by the way, on his birthday, getting a pick six off Mahomes. Shout out Cooper
and,
DeJean,
and
Iowa
shout out
standout.
and shout out to Saquon. He may not have had a good game,
I
but
love
I'm
Say,
happy for
man.
Saquon. I'm
I
happy
love
for
Say.
Saquon. The only reason why I
Saquon,
went for
Say gone.
because here's the thing: to see what he went through with the
Yeah,
Giants, to see what he went through, I'm happy for him
yeah, absolutely.
because he was the reason why the Giants were successful in the first place, and he literally proved he was the reason that the Giants had any success. Period. They're gonna say, "Oh, he was too injury prone and whatnot," but he proved it 1 year. Y'all made the absolutely stupid mistake y'all ever made. 2,000
Here's my
yard
thing.
rusher, offensive player of the year, Super Bowl champion. And Dak, you're saying you're close to that man, to that team? Give me a break.
Here's my thing. And this isn't actually going to be a start with the Cowboys. I'm going to talk about this for a minute. Everybody, you mentioned and you brought up how people said that Saquon was injury prone with the Giants. It's pretty easy to get injured when you don't have an offensive line to run behind and you don't have a quarterback to help take some of the pressure off of you. Because teams know exactly where the ball is going every time because you didn't have a number one receiver. You didn't have a quarterback that, I mean, yeah, Daniel Jones could run, but nobody feared him running. And you didn't have an offensive line to block for you downfield. Saquon now has that. And here's my question for the Giants and the organization. John Morrow, why does Joe Shane still have a fucking job? Did you not see what happened Sunday night? Your boy, who you said if he went to Philly, you'd have a hard time sleeping, broke the all-time rushing record in the NFL. It included the playoffs. It's not the single season record, but he went for 2,400 yards this year. After the playoffs, it actually came out like 2,400 yards. It was crazy. So the all-time leading rusher in the NFL, including regular season and playoffs, won the Offensive Player of the Year award, won a Super Bowl on his birthday, and Joe Shane still has a job. You're going to allow Joe Shane to draft somebody at number 3? Here's what I would do. I would do what the New England Patriots did. I'd fire Joe Shane, and I would make Brian Daboll my GM to draft the roster that he wants. Not the roster that Joe Shane wants him to have, but the roster that Daboll wants.
Now, here's my question, though.
Brian Daboll is a damn good football coach.
Well, here's the thing, though. Do you think he's going to make the right decision at number 3?
Yes.
Because look at who's available. Look who's going to be available around that pick.
I think if he's there, the Giants take Shedeur Sanders.
Because like we're going to talk about, you got Shedeur, Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, and in my opinion, the best player in the entire draft, Travis Hunter. If you're the Giants at number 3, depending on who's available, who do you pick?
Okay, if Cam won't be there, because I think he goes number 1, either to the Titans or the Titans trade out of the pick and go and give it to somebody else. Travis Hunter probably won't be there unless, but even if you're the Giants, I don't think you take Travis Hunter. You have to take a quarterback. So it's either Cam or Shedeur. That's it. And I've seen people saying that Jackson Dart could fit in New York, and he could, but there is no reason to take him that high.
But there's another quarterback. There's another quarterback that has risen up, Will Howard.
Yeah, but see, I think he falls into Pittsburgh. I think him and Jackson fall like to Pittsburgh and maybe to like maybe I think the Raiders take Will Howard because of Chip Kelly. Because he's got that relationship with Chip. He knows the offense. And he, just like Shedeur, has a relationship with Tom. It's not as close, but he does have a relationship with Tom. And he has a relationship with the Manning brothers.
Because the thing that the Giants need to understand, you can't wait for Arch to come out of Texas. Because you might not even have the number 1 pick in a year or two if Arch comes out.
Here's my thing, though. I think just like they're saying Shedeur might pull it, or like Dion will do what Archie did with Eli, what's to say that the Manning family doesn't do it again with Arch? They did it with Eli. What's to say they don't go, hey, no, he's not going to New York. There's no way he's going to, like, it's possible. Because it was different when Eli got drafted to New York and they made the trade with him and Rivers. New York had a good team. They ain't got a good team right now. They got Malik Neighbors. And Tracy, the running back, who's coming along very well. And obviously Daniel Bellinger.
And Dexter Lawrence on the defense. Sexy
and
Dexter.
Brian Burns. Yeah. But they don't have anybody else. It's not like they're like the only good thing about New York. The Jets are better off right now than the New York Giants.
Sadly.
Neither team has a quarterback, but at least the backup quarterback for the Jets and Tyrod Taylor can function in offense.
Right. Right.
and they have a running back, and they've got three really good wide receivers in Lazard, Wilson, and Adams, depending on what Devontae Adams ends up doing. And you got Sauce Gardner, you got DJ Reed, you got CJ Mosley, you've got Quentin Williams, you got Quincy Williams.
Yep.
So, like, the Jets are in a good spot.
And you got a coach, that could be successful with the team, Aaron Glenn.
And you play in a very easy division. I mean, yeah, you got the Buffalo Bills, but the Dolphins, unless Tua's healthy, we've seen they're not going to do anything. And Mike Vrabel is returning to the Patriots, but depending on what they do in free agency, they may or may not be any good. It may take another year or two for Vrabel.
But they're on the rise. They're on the rise because imagine if the Patriots, because here's the rumors that Joe Burrow might restructure his contract to get a chance to re-sign.
We were going to talk about that.
We'll get to that. But say if they don't, what if the Patriots get T. Higgins and pair him with Drake May?
See, but the thing is, though, with T, it's not a trade. It's a free agency thing. So T can decide whether he wants to go or not. And he may not want to go to New England. He might want to go to, like, Dallas or LA, since they're looking to trade Cooper Kupp.
Well, who has the most money? Who has the most money? The Patriots.
I mean, yeah, the Patriots can afford to pay him, but also, if you're T. Higgins, do you want to stay in the AFC and have to play the Bengals? Or would you rather go to the NFC and potentially compete? Like, if he goes to the Rams, that division's not very good either. Outside of the Niners, and the Niners have to be healthy. The Seahawks aren't very good. Geno Smith is good, but the Seahawks need another quarterback. They got to get a quarterback eventually, because Geno's going to age out. I still don't trust Kyler Murray.
I don't either.
I like him. I like what he did this year with Marvin Harrison Jr., but I don't trust him long term. And Brock Purdy's about to get paid a bunch of money, so the 49ers won't be able to sign a lot of free agents. That's why they're trading Debo. But that's another thing. What if T wants to go to the 49ers with Ayuk, who he has a relationship with Brock Purdy, with Christian McCaffrey, who he has a relationship with,
if he's healthy,
with George Kittle, who he has a relationship with? He may not want to go to New England. I wouldn't want to. Yeah, you've got Drake May, and that's promising, but that's really all you got. You've got nothing to show that this organization can win without Tom Brady, because they didn't do it. They won when Brady was there, but they haven't won since Brady left. They've made the playoffs one time, and then their OC, who's returning, who took that rookie quarterback to the playoffs, left for a job, and I mean, it's not Belichick, but Mike Vrabel runs a very similar system to Belichick. But that was the Dak stuff. We're going to get into something else with the Cowboys real quick.
Oh, no.
Parsons out in Dallas. Now, I've seen this rumored that apparently the front office of Dallas has had internal discussions about either trading Micah Parsons or paying him. All I'm going to say is, Jerry Jones, you can't take that money when you die, brother.
You would be a fool if you let.
However, let me finish my statement.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons is from Philadelphia. Micah Parsons went to Penn State. Micah Parsons has a very good relationship with Saquon Barkley. Micah Parsons has a good relationship with A.J. Brown. In fact, they work for the same company. They're both under Bleacher Report. Micah Parsons also has a relationship with C.J. Stroud, who's in Houston. They work with the same company, which is Bleacher Report.
Yep.
As a football fan, it would do my heart well to see Micah Parsons go to Philly. Go home, brother, and win a Super Bowl in Philly. And the only reason I say that is because I think if that happens, just like John Mara said, if Saquon goes to Philly, he'd have a hard time sleeping. Could you imagine if Jerry Jones is the one responsible for Micah going to Philly and they win a championship, his own family might kill him.
Now I gotta stop you right there. Okay, so
And
here's the
here's the
thing.
thing: I know they'll never. They won't trade him to Philly. They're not stupid. Well, hold on, they're not that stupid. If I'm Micah though, there is no way in hell. I don't care how much money you pay me. I'm not signing an extension next year. I'll play on the last year of my deal with my guaranteed money. I will do what Kirk Cousins was able to do for years. Play on the last year of my deal without any money. Your ass can't franchise tag me because I'm pretty sure Micah's contract has no franchise tag clause. I could be wrong on that, but I think he does. But also, Jerry's not going to pay him long term.
He's
And Micah,
cheap.
if he just doesn't sign the franchise tag, he's not franchise tagged.
Right.
And if he's on the last year of his deal and he refuses to sign the tag, he'll be a free agent. And then Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie can call Micah and say, "Come home to Saquon, baby." That's what I want to see. Because I want to see the Cowboys. Could you imagine? The Mavericks traded away Luka Doncic, and the Mavs fans are pissed. Could
Yep.
you imagine if the Cowboys, whether they trade him away or they let him walk away, could you imagine if Micah goes to Philly? I don't think there'd be a Cowboys fan in the stadium ever again for that team. There wouldn't be.
Now I have to come in.
Okay. You have your little defense mechanism.
Yes. I want to say this quick because I hate you for saying having the two Dallas stuff first. So I want to breeze through this quick so we can move on to the next subject.
I wanted to
Knowing
get it out
Jerry,
of the way. I wanted to get it out of the way.
I know Jerry Jones is not stupid enough to trade him
We're
to
also
fit in
not
his
done with Dallas
division.
stuff.
Oh Lord.
There's
But
another thing that's Dallas related.
but I know Jerry Jones is not that stupid to trade Michael Parsons to Philly. So the only way
Are we
he's going to
sure?
go to Philly, no. Because here's the thing. He's not stupid enough to trade him in the same division.
He was
He'll
dumb
rather
enough.
have him walk.
He was dumb enough not to sign Derrick Henry. He was dumb enough not to sign Saquon Barkley.
But here's the thing though. Would it have happened? Would they have had the same season if they were in Dallas? No, I don't think so.
No, they would have won like 5 games like Dallas did.
So you can't say you can't say that because they might not have
We can
been
say
the
that now, but a year ago when they were both free agents, and Philly only signed Saquon to what,
a 3 year deal. I think it was 3 years.
like $13 million?
I think it was 16.
And
I think it was 3 years, 16 million.
well, okay, but the Ravens signed Derrick Henry, who by the way has a house in Dallas, to like an $8 million deal for 2 years.
That one I was legit pissed off at. I was legit pissed off at that.
He
Oh
has
no,
a
they
house
signed
in Dallas.
Saquon. They signed Saquon to 3 years, 37 million.
Okay, but I think he would have taken a smaller cut to go play in Dallas with CeeDee Lamb.
Mm,
But Derrick Henry was right there. He lives in Dallas. He's in Dallas right now. It's the offseason. He's chilling in Dallas. He's from
yep,
Dallas.
yep. I would be very sad if we lose Parsons because Parsons is one of my favorite players
I
in on
won't.
that.
I'll laugh my ass off. Oh, you know where they need to trade him? San Francisco. San Francisco needs another pass rusher opposite Nick Bosa.
And Fred Warner.
You hate me, don't you?
Can we move on to the next subject?
Yeah, we're gonna move on from that Dallas subject to. So we mentioned the head coach of the
Oh,
Cowboys, Brian Schottenheimer. Now there's a new head coach in New Orleans in the Big Easy, and funny enough, he played for the Cowboys. He has a relationship with Jerry Jones. He was the quarterback coach in Dallas for Dak Prescott. He was also the offensive coordinator for several years, but until Mike McCarthy lied to Jerry Jones to get him out of there. Then he went to the Chargers 2 years ago, and nothing really panned of it. But then he went to Philly and won a Super Bowl. And now, after 6 years of being a coordinator, he's a head coach. Kellen Moore to the Saints. Now, isn't it interesting that Mike McCarthy could have had the opportunity to hire Kellen Moore? He interviewed Kellen Moore. They like Kellen Moore. Jerry Jones says Kellen Moore like a son to him. Well, Jerry, he's the only son of yours that got away from that franchise, and he's never coming back.
Yep.
Technically, he's the second one because Jason Garrett was also like a son to you, and he ain't never coming back either.
Right.
Ryan Schottenheimer's y'all's head coach. Now, let me ask you, how many Super Bowl championships Brian Schottenheimer got?
0.
Okay. How many number one rushing offenses does Brian Schottenheimer have under his belt? Keep in mind, McCarthy called the plays and Moore called the plays while Schottenheimer was in Dallas. So that'd be 0. He ain't never called an offensive play in his life.
Not true. Because when he was with the Jets.
Okay, I'm talking about in Dallas.
Okay,
but
none.
Did he have the number one rushing offense in New York though, with the Jets?
Not number one. He had some good seasons though, with Thomas Jones and LaDainian Tomlinson. So he had some good seasons.
But who was the head coach of the Jets at that time?
So at the beginning, it was Eric Mangini. It was Eric Mangini. Then it was Rex Ryan. So 06 was Herm Edwards. Then 07 and 08 was Eric Mangini. No. 6, 7, and 8 was Eric Mangini. And then 9, 10, and 11 was Rex Ryan.
Okay. But those are defensive coaches, and they had great defense in New York those times. Schottenheimer's offense had nothing to do with that.
True.
Now, how many offensive plays did Brian Schottenheimer call last year for the Dallas Cowboys?
I think 0 because of Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, he went the play caller. Yeah, you know what's funny? You know who y'all's defensive coordinator is?
That old guy.
Matt Eberflus. Wasn't Matt Eberflus the Bears head coach last year with Caleb Williams?
And couldn't do a damn thing with Caleb Williams.
And didn't he get fired after the Thanksgiving game against the Lions because he called an abysmal defense that day and mismanaged the clock so bad that it actually became a meme?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Now, Kellen Moore has how many Super Bowl titles under his belt as a coordinator? Kellen Moore has how many number one offenses as a coordinator? Nope, more than one.
Oh yeah, with Dallas, he did have a good offense with us.
He's got it with the Eagles and he's got it with Dallas. Yep. You know what's funny to me? And here's what I love. Kellen Moore could have been y'all's head coach, and it would have been a good hire because Kellen Moore, yes, he would have listened to Jerry Jones, but Kellen Moore has a spine, and Kellen Moore would have stood up to Jerry as well. Brian Schottenheimer hasn't earned the opportunity to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
He's never been a head coach.
Mike McCarthy earned that opportunity.
Right.
Because he was a head coach of the Packers and he'd won a Super Bowl. Jason Garrett, say what you want about Jason Garrett. He earned the opportunity. He went through the ranks. Y'all could have hired Mike Zimmerman as your defensive coordinator or as your head coach. He's in the building too. And he's actually been a head coach. And he's actually went to the NFC Championship game.
I would have been fine with maybe even Ron Rivera.
Yeah, that wasn't going to happen.
I would have been fine with Ron Rivera, to be honest. Because Ron Rivera did interview for the Bears.
My favorite part is Ben Johnson could have been y'all's head coach, but he was going to go to
That was not going to happen. That was totally impossible.
Everybody knew where Ben Johnson was going.
That was not going to happen.
crap. The
As
Jets head
as
coach,
much as I love, as much Aaron Glenn,
Aaron Glenn. He could have been. That wasn't gonna happen.
that
See,
was
because they
not
were
going to
smart.
happen either.
They were smart. They knew Jerry wouldn't let them do their thing.
That was not going to happen.
Deion Sanders could have come in y'all's head coach,
Oh,
but
that was
he was smart.
100 times. Nope.
He was smart. He knew Jerry wouldn't let him do his thing. Kellen
Exactly.
Moore was y'all's boy. Kellen Moore. Jerry Jones really believed that Kellen Moore would be the guy. And I'll bet you $100 Kellen Moore called Jerry Jones and said, "Listen, you old white bastard. I'm not coming back to Dallas to work for you because you don't let me call what I want to call, and you won't let me draft players I want to draft, and you won't let me handle the organization the way I want to handle it." And Jerry Jones got a phone with him, and he went to Steven. He said, "Steven, I don't got nobody. We only got who we gonna hire?" I bet you Steven said, "Well, why don't we call back Mike McCarthy?" And Jerry went, "Brian Schottenheimer." And Brian Schottenheimer was probably just in the cafeteria at the facility getting some food. And he goes, "Yes, Mr. Jones?" And Jerry goes, "Huh, how would you like to be our new head coach? You know the players here. They don't like you. They don't want you to be the head coach. But you know the players. You've never called offense for us because when you were here, it was Kellen Moore and then it was Mike McCarthy. But you're the guy, and we trust you." Do you
But
know what the equivalent of them hiring Brian Schottenheimer is?
what?
When the Colts hired Jeff Saturday. The only difference is Jeff Saturday does have a Super Bowl championship to his name.
As a
He won,
player,
and still he's won a title, and he's a Colts Ring of Honor member. And it was interim, and it was only for like the last 6 weeks of the season, and there was no way he could really make it worse. But that was the equivalent of what they like. I love the Cowboys. I might become a Cowboys fan just so I can laugh at them every week. I'm going to quote Stephen A. Smith. What can go wrong will go wrong. It's just who they are. You know what'll be
man,
really funny?
man,
You know what'll be
put the next subject on, man.
well,
I'm
you
done
know what'll
talking
be
about
really
that.
funny? You know what'll be
What?
really funny?
What?
If Kellen Moore somehow gets the quarterback he wants, gets the right offensive line, defensive line, because that's what Philly built. So I'm sure he'll build his guys the same way, similar to how Ben Johnson's going to do in Chicago. And if it's Kellen Moore in the playoffs with the Saints, and they match up against the Cowboys, and he out coaches, out schemes, and out bullies Brian Schottenheimer right there in Jerry's world in front of Jerry Jones. I want that. I want it this year. I want it this year. Kellen Moore, hire me to help you draft these guys. I will help you. We'll draft the best offensive line and the best defense in New Orleans that they've ever seen. This will be better than when they went and what was it they did in 2012? That Sean Payton got suspended for?
Bounty Gate.
Yeah, this defense will be better than Bounty Gate. Hell, hire me as the fucking ball boy because I want to be at AT&T Stadium. I want to be there when you go and play the Cowboys in the playoffs in the first round, and you're the fucking 7 seed, and you skate in there in the playoffs, and they're the 2 seed, and you beat the dog shit out of them. And I want to see Jerry Jones cry, and I want to see Steven take the keys of the organization from his father. That's what I want. Now, it won't happen, but God, could you imagine? The Chiefs lose, the Cowboys are falling apart, Kellen Moore's with the life is great. I'm not even worried about Miami because our problems are settled. Tyreek said at Super Bowl week he wants to be in Miami. We're good. And we have a coach with at least our coach called offensive plays and is intelligent. I don't even know if Ryan Schottenheimer has a degree. He may just be. It may just be because of his last name that he's a coach.
Man,
All
let's
right,
get to the next subject, man. Stop talking
we'll
about
go
my
next.
Dallas.
We'll go
Sheesh.
next subject, but we ain't done with Dallas
Oh my God.
because we're gonna talk about some guys that might want to go to Dallas until they realize who the coach is. And these are guys that I kind of hope the Saints get, but they got to get over the salary cap to be able to get them. But let's talk about this real quick. The Bengals' offensive woes or offseason woes. Now, we touched on it. Joe Burrow has said he'd be willing to take a pay cut to keep Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Trey Hendrickson. Can I be honest with you?
That's not going to happen.
I think he'll take a pay cut. I think he'll take a pay cut. He'll do what Brady
But
did. He'll take a pay cut.
to sign all three of them though, and then you need to fix your defense as well.
That's where I was going with this. I don't think they'll use it to sign all three of them. I think they'll either they'll sign Jamar and they'll sign T. They'll let Trey walk and they'll use the rest of the money to build the defense.
But you will be stupid to let Trey Hendrickson walk.
You'd be stupid to let Jamar or T walk. And you're not letting Jamar walk because if you let Jamar walk, Joe Burrow might leave. He might just not show up ever again.
Well, all right. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
You're talking about his best friend.
Here's the thing. All right. So Jamar is getting paid regardless. So take him out. Take him out because Jamar Chase is going to get his money.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
After this season, yes, he is.
He's going into the last year of his deal, and we saw what they did with T, and they didn't want to sign Jamar last year to a long-term extension.
I think Jamar is going to get paid, especially after this season.
I think he will. But I think they might franchise tag him. They might try to do what they did with T.
But why? Why would you franchise tag the best receiver?
The Bengals ownership are a bunch of old fucks
who are cheap as hell.
They did this to Chad Ochocinco. They forced him to wait until the last year on his deal, then tagged him. Now they paid Carson Palmer. They paid Andy Dalton. They did this to AJ Green. They'll pay their quarterbacks. They don't pay their wide receivers. Hey, newsflash, Cincinnati. You have to pay the wide receivers.
And this was his final year. Yeah.
Well, this was it for T. He's a free agent.
And this is the last year of his rookie contract, Jamar, because they picked up his 5th-year option. So this is final year.
Well, they picked up that 5th year to avoid paying him after this year. Because they gave him the guaranteed money for next year.
To really go through this with the best receiver in the league, a triple crown.
To go through this with two of the best. You're talking about two of the best. If T. Higgins was on any other team other than the Vikings and other than the Bengals, he would be the number one option.
Yep.
If you put him in San Francisco, he's not better than Brandon. He's better than Brandon Ayuk. You put him in fucking L.A., he's better than Puka Nacua, and he's better than Cooper Kupp.
Well, here's another thing. He's not going to be number one. I know a team he's not going to be number one in. Washington.
He's better than, in my opinion, he's better than Terry McLaurin.
I gotta disagree with that. He's better
than Terry McLaurin.
I gotta disagree.
Now, one-on-one, 50-50 balls, he's not. But his speed and his ability to escape and elude defenders, he's better than Terry McLaurin.
But Terry has that power that a lot of receivers don't have.
But Terry, well, so does DK Metcalf, but he's better than DK. You put him on Philadelphia, you're going to tell me he's not better than A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith?
Okay, time out. You just said two of the best receivers. You said that.
As a tandem, they're the best two. As a tag team, they're the best tandem.
And they're not. They're not. No, they're not the best tag team. They're not. It's Jordan Addison. It's Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson. What?
Jordan Addison's not as good as A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
But both of them combined is not touching Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, they're better than one receiver. They're not better than. They're better. They're not better than one. They're better than the other. You gonna
We
tell me that Debo
going
and Ayuk are close to it? No, they're not.
we're gonna have to make a video about this. Matter of fact,
Oh,
this
we going to.
we're gonna
We going
so
to.
guys keep up. We're gonna make a video on who do we think who is the best receiving duo in the league right now.
It's AJ and Devontae. They just won the fucking Super Bowl.
I think it's Justin Jefferson and
And they
Jordan
balled
Addison.
out and did it. They balled out and did it.
You may
I
even
never.
argue that Higgins and Chase is the best.
My thing is with saying that Justin and Jordan are. I need to see Jordan Addison healthy for a full. He's been banged up. He's not been healthy for a full season. He's been in the league 2 years. He's not had a full healthy season yet. Which, by the way, we're gonna get into something else that was said today that I saw it. That we're gonna talk about regarding the Colts.
I know what
But
you're talking about. Yep.
yeah, but like my thing is, you can't say that T Higgins isn't a top 5 receiver.
Top 10, top 5, I don't know.
Name 5 that are better. Name 5 that are better.
Okay, let's get the easy ones out the way. Justin Jefferson, obviously.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill.
No.
Whoa,
I don't
whoa.
think Tyreek's faster. I don't think he's better.
The man that should have won. The man that should have won MVP last year.
I'm going based off this year, not last year. This year, he's not.
I'm talking about overall. We're not going. Forget the season. We're talking about overall.
Even overall, I think T's better.
I would take Tyreek over T. Higgins. I would.
No.
Okay. Let's get back to the top 5.
He's faster, but he's not better.
Okay, let's go over the top 5. So
T can create space. Tyreek can't. Tyreek just runs past you. T can actually break you in half and snap your damn ankles. All right, but let's go. We got Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase.
Okay, CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee fucking Lamb.
No,
you are not.
No, he's not. There's no way you just see that's cowboy bias. There's no way
you are literally telling me that. You're literally telling me T. Higgins is better than CeeDee Lamb. Are you kidding me?
Yes. I'm telling you that.
How?
Okay, look at this. And Joe Burrow said this himself. When T is on the field, you either have to double Jamar or you have to double T. Higgins. And when Jamar is off the field, T. Higgins gets doubled and still beats it. T. Higgins is a better wide receiver than Jamar Chase or than CeeDee Lamb. He's not better than Jefferson. He's not better than Jamar. I'll give you that. But he's better than CeeDee Lamb. He's just not paid as much as CD because the Bengals won't pay him. He'd be making more than CD right now. He should be because he's better.
You are crazy. You are crazy. What?
Yeah, let's pull up CD stats and T stats. I'll do it.
I got CeeDee Lamb's stats right here, right now.
All right, you read them all because I'm gonna get T.
So I got CD right here. So he had 101 receptions for 1,194 yards and 6 touchdowns.
What did you say again? Repeat that.
101. Really? 100. Hold up, because you ain't gonna do that. 101 receptions, 1,194 yards and 6 touchdowns.
And 6 touchdowns? Okay. This year, T. Higgins had 73 receptions. But keep in mind, T also is a second option on his team. 911 yards, 10 touchdowns, and he averaged 12.5 yards a catch. How many yards did CD average?
This man is really telling me that he is better than CeeDee Lamb.
And he had more touchdowns.
One thing.
What was his average? What was his average yardage per catch?
11.8.
So T has that too, because he's at 12.5.
Just by a couple.
I'll give
We're
you
talking
this.
about
CeeDee Lamb.
point.
I'll give you this. CeeDee Lamb. If he had a quarterback consistently, you'd have an argument, but he doesn't, and he's not better than T. He's
CeeDee
not
Lamb
better
is a
than T.
top. CeeDee Lamb is a top 5 receiver in the league. How can you?
He's
How
top 5, but he's not better than T.
T is not in top 5? He's
Yes, he
not.
is.
He's like 6 or 7. He's not 5.
Oh my
I
God,
just.
bro, you are Cowboy biased right now.
That's not bias. I'm
Next thing
going
you're
off
gonna
of what
tell
I've.
me, next thing you're gonna tell me that fucking Kevon Turpin's better than T.
Bro, I'm not thinking that. Going off of what I've seen with CD, CD is the only positive thing on our offense. He's been the most positive on our offense, and he's been the most consistent.
And T. Higgins has been the most consistent for the Bengals.
And
He
guess
hasn't been
what?
injured.
And guess what? Guess
He's
what?
been in the league,
CD,
bro. He has been in the league. He's been in the league for 4 seasons because he got drafted in the same draft class as Joe Burrow. He's been in the league since 2020. He's never been injured.
well, let me ask you this: If T
Jamar
Higgins
has.
is, let me ask you this: If T Higgins is better than CD Lamb, how come he's never made an All Pro or a Pro Bowl?
Because he's the number 2 option on his team. But if he was in Dallas, he'd be the number 1 option. He would be above CD. Dak
Be
Prescott
it
would throw to T.
bullcrap,
Higgins more.
bullcrap,
Bro,
bullcrap, bro,
what? Oh my God, bro.
bullcrap. You're
Oh my God.
you're really disrespecting CD Lamb, bro.
I
You're
like CD, but he's not better than T. Okay, so but this is your list. So you said Jefferson, which I agree with. We said Jamar Chase,
obviously,
which I agree with, and you said CD Lamb.
obviously, yes.
Okay, so who's your other 2? Give me your other 2.
Like I said, I can argue Tyreek Hill. I can argue
Okay,
Tyreek Hill.
I'm telling you right now, I love Tyreek. He's a Dolphin. I liked him when he was on the Chiefs. No,
I can
he's not.
argue with Tyreek Hill.
He's not top 5 anymore. He used to be, but he's not anymore.
Well, so after one down year, he's not top 5. Really?
I don't think he
When
was.
he
I don't. Here's the thing. We're going based off, just like we did with the quarterback rankings, we're going based off of this year. You're going to tell me Tyreek was top 5 this year?
he had one
No.
bad year, and you're telling me he's not top 5?
He's also on the wrong side of 30. There's a chance that he won't even be top 5. Like, he's going to decrease. Plus, he's short. The only thing he's got is speed. That's it. He's fast.
And
he's got.
and then also
he can beat T in a race. I'll give you that. He's top 5 in a race. But go ahead. You said Jamar,
and then
Jamar,
you got some.
Justin, CD, and Tyreek.
And then, but they're not in the top 5. Let me paraphrase. They're not in the top 5, but you got some receivers that's on the rise. McConkey and Puka.
Above T.
So I said Jamar, Justin, CD, Tyreek. And he just does not get the respect that he deserves. Especially after this season. I can make an argument also for Terry McLaurin. Like, come on, like seriously, you what is so wrong with Scary Terry? Let me ask you this: What's wrong
with him? I love him. I love Scary Terry. I love Terry McLaurin. Nothing's wrong with him. He's not top 5.
He's an argument.
No, he's not.
He's an all pro. He's something that T. Higgins isn't, an all pro.
I just told you why T's not an all pro. He's not an all pro because he's the number 2 option on his fucking team. If he didn't have Jamar Chase, he would be an all pro.
Hey, but guess what? You just said
if Burrow didn't suck Jamar Chase's dick, T. Higgins would be an all pro and be the number 1 option on that team.
But this year, Terry is a top 5 top 5 receiver. Did you? And here's the thing. Here's the thing. They were injured. Yes, they were injured. But did you see what the hell he did to the Lions? But yes, they were injured. I had to say that before I said what I
Credit
said.
him on that. I don't give him a lot of credit on that. He did great against the Lions, but so did that run game. So did Jaden Daniels.
But this year alone proved making an all pro. He was second team all pro. That proves to you he's a top 5 receiver in the league right now. I'm not saying this for me. I'm saying this with the NFL. He was voted an all pro.
I've got three that can go above T, and that's it. I've got 3 right now that I put above T.
Terry McLaurin just made all pro. That's all I gotta say. All pro.
I've got 3. I've got 3 that I'll put above T, and the third one's a stretch. But I've got 3 that I put above T. Obviously, Justin Jefferson and Ja'Marr Chase. I put those above T.
I'm forgetting someone. Oh my god. I cannot believe I forgot him.
Who did you forget?
St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Nope. Amon-Ra wasn't really the number 1 option this year on his team because most of the balls went to Jameson Williams. Now, you know that's a fact. They did a lot more jet sweep and stuff with JMO than they did with Amon-Ra.
This man is a first team all pro back to back. How? He's an all pro, a first team all pro. That basically means the NFL voted him a top 3 receiver in the league. The NFL did. And you're saying he's not better than T. Higgins, who never even made a Pro Bowl?
I would not put him above T, no.
He's a first team. Let me paraphrase this. First team all pro.
Let me paraphrase this. Outside of the Vikings and the Bengals, and look, I'll put Mike Evans above T. Higgins. Because that man deserves some fucking respect. Because he's a 1,000-yard receiver for like 8 straight years. And he's had a different quarterback almost every year. And he was hurt half of the year this year and still got his over 1,000 yards. So I'll give Mike Evans above T. Higgins. But
I'll do that too.
Everybody else, he would be a number 1 receiver on their team.
He would not be number 1 in Detroit. He is not better than. No, he would not.
Who are you saying he's not better than? JMO?
He's not better than Amon-Ra.
Yes, he is.
Amon-Ra. Okay, so you're telling me that T. Higgins is better than a first team all pro.
You keep saying that. Hey, you know who else was better than a first team all pro? Josh Allen. Who won the damn MVP? Josh Allen. You know who else was better than a first team all pro? Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson. And if he had had a functioning defense, they might have been in the Super Bowl instead of the Chiefs. Are you going to tell me that Joe Burrow is not a better quarterback than Lamar? Because he's a better quarterback. He had more passing touchdowns, less interceptions, and almost 5,000 yards passing.
He didn't even pass for 5,000 yards.
I said almost 5,000.
Don't disrespect Lamar Jackson. Don't act like Lamar Jackson is a slouch.
Lamar is great. But Joe Burrow this year was better than Lamar.
They had the same passing touchdowns, 41. They both had 41 touchdowns.
Who had less interceptions?
Lamar had 4 interceptions.
Let me go double check it. I might have it wrong. I would still put Burrow above Lamar though.
You definitely have it wrong because Joe Burrow had. I look it up right 9. Now I was wrong. Joe Burrow had 43 touchdowns. Lamar had 41. But Joe Burrow threw for 9 interceptions, and Lamar only had 4.
How many passing yards? Go to Lamar's stats. How many passing yards did Lamar have?
He did have over 4,000, but Joe Burrow was better. Lamar had 41.
5,000.
Yep.
Almost 5,000. And
I'll give you that.
You telling me that Joe Burrow wouldn't have been the MVP if his team had made the playoffs?
He probably
Had
would
his
have.
team had his team been better, they probably would have beat the Chiefs. They could have beat the Chiefs in the second round. They would
I
have
think they
went
would have.
in, beat the Bills, because I think Joe Burrow was better than Josh Allen. And I damn sure think that Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are better than fucking Keon Coleman and Amari Cooper
Oh yes.
and Khalil Shakir. Now, they've
And,
got a better
and
running
James
back.
Cook. Yeah.
James Cook's a great running back. But I'm telling you right now, Burrow would have won the Super Bowl. I think he had the Bengals had a defense and they made it to the Super Bowl. They may not have won it, but it'd have been an entertaining game. What we watched Sunday night was not an entertaining game.
Right.
But I still feel like T is number 3, maybe 4, behind Mike Evans, Jamar, and Justin.
We gonna have to discuss this another time, man, because
Yeah, we're gonna make a video about this because this
you're
is too good of a
crazy.
conversation to just have in the middle of a live stream. We gotta make a whole
Right.
video on this.
Right.
All right, let's get to another team that's got offseason woes. The Patriots. They need a number 1 wideout, and we just talked about him. I think T. Higgins ends up in New England.
I said the same thing too.
I don't want him to. I don't want him to, but I think he does because they've got the most money. They do have a good quarterback in Drake May, a young quarterback,
Yep.
and Josh McDaniels runs a similar offense to Zach Taylor.
I think he
Now,
would thrive. I think T. Higgins would thrive with Drake May. I definitely think that.
yeah, he'd be the number 1 option, which is what he should be.
I just think that with the Patriots, because like we said, they have over 100 million in cap space. Because we all know that Mike Brown in Cincinnati is cheap. Is cheap, 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 cheap. And
We just talked
if
about
he wants, and if we want somewhere, and if he wants to go somewhere where he'll make the most money, the Patriots are number 1 in cap space. I think they
yeah,
have over 133 million in cap space. So
yeah.
they can offer
Dude,
T.
so
Higgins the most money.
I just for fun today, I went into Madden, picked the Patriots, and didn't re-sign anybody. Like really, I signed a couple guys, but I didn't really re-sign anybody, and I didn't turn off the cap space thing, the salary cap, because I wanted to see how much they'll actually have if they don't re-sign a lot of their players.
Right.
Dude, it came out to almost like $200 million in salary cap.
They have $122 million in cap
Yeah,
space. They can offer T. Higgins.
I was able to sign T. I was able to trade for Myles Garrett. I was able to trade for another wide receiver. I ended up trading for Debo for the Niners. I won the Super Bowl in year 2 with the Patriots. Just with those 3 moves. And
And we're
Myles
going to
Garrett
talk about
had 27
his
sacks.
name. Now we got a subject where we're going to talk about him. So think about it. They got the most cap space.
Who, Myles or Debo?
Imagine the Patriots signing T. Higgins and trading for Myles Garrett.
Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna get to we'll save that for when we get to Myles. We're about to get to Myles in a minute.
Imagine that.
But I think if they don't, let's say they don't get T. Higgins, let's say he ends up re-signing with Cincinnati or sign somewhere else. I think another wide receiver they could go with, Cooper Kupp, Debo. They could draft. They could draft one.
Debo makes more. I think Debo makes more sense because with the injury history with Cooper Kupp, and he's approaching 30. I don't know about that because remember, you said it yourself. Tyreek is approaching 30. Cooper Kupp is approaching 30. We don't
Yeah,
know
but
how long he's going to last.
I think Cooper Kupp though is a better pure wide receiver than Debo. I think Debo is like kind of like a Taysom
Mm,
Hill. I think Debo's a jet player. He can do a lot of stuff. He can be your
yeah,
H back. He can be your wide. They need a wide receiver 1. Now another guy that could end up in New England. I don't know if he will because he'll probably go wherever his quarterback goes. But Devontae Adams, if he doesn't decide to stay with the Jets, he could go to New England, and I think he could be number 1 in New England.
Well, what if they do not get a number one receiver? Is there a young receiver that you see in this upcoming draft that
Yes,
could?
and I downloaded the draft class today in Madden, and I drafted him to the Patriots. Mbakwe out of Ohio State. He's fast, he's athletic, and he's physical. I think he would fit New England perfectly. I think to me, he's a DK Metcalf.
Hmm.
He's not as strong as DK, but his speed, athleticism, I think he's a DK. And somebody that Mike Vrabel loved in Tennessee was AJ Brown, who is very similar to DK because I mean obviously they came from the same school, but also they're just a similar wide receiver. I think I think the Ohio State wide receiver could be that guy for them.
But here's the question you got to ask yourself:
But but
if they don't get a receiver in the free agency, do you think they're going to draft a receiver that high at number 4?
it depends. If Travis Hunter's there, yes. If he's not, no.
Do
Like
you
I
want to
think Travis
waste?
Hunter's the only one.
Do you want to take a top 5? Do you personally see any receivers in this draft that's top 5? No, no.
No. In fact, let me hold on. So let me go because I did a mock draft, which is posted on our Patreon. Which, by the way, guys, if you're watching and want to support the channel, go over to our Patreon. It is Nick Beasley Wrestling. We're gonna be posting exclusive content there, and it's only $1 a month. $1 a month is all it costs to get exclusive content. Plus, clips from the live stream will be posted there. Plus, as we do our mock drafts, they'll be posted there under the paid tier, but they'll still be posted there. But anyway, I did a mock draft. Now, in my mock draft, I did have Travis Hunter fall to the Patriots, and I ended up putting another guy I think could Luther Burden the third. I think he could be a guy for them.
At number 4, though?
No, I don't think he's that high. I have him going number 15 of the Falcons. And Buckway I had fallen to the Saints, which would be number 9. So the
Where do you
Patriots could trade.
where do you have the receiver? I forgot his name. I think he was at the 6'4". He was at the Senior Bowl. I forgot his name. I think he played at Arizona State.
Arizona State.
He was like, we talked about it. He was 6'3",
You mean
6'4".
Arizona?
No, Arizona. Yeah, Arizona. Yeah, it was. I forgot his name.
McMillan. I don't
Yeah,
know how to say his first name. His last name's McMillan. I had him falling to number 6 to the Raiders.
because of the size. Because the reason I said his name because of the size.
Yeah, no. So my wide receivers, Travis Hunter fell off the board at 4, but they've got him on here as a corner, not a receiver. But I think he'll play both in the NFL. Not full
Right.
time, but I think he'll play both.
He's mainly going to play corner, and he'll play
Yeah.
offense sometimes.
Then I've got McMillan at 6. I had Egbakwe at 9. I might be messing up his last name, but the Ohio State wide receiver at 9. I had Luther Burden going 15 to the Falcons. I have
Where you
Matthew
have
Golden
Genty? Where do you have Ashton
at
Genty going?
Ashton. I've got him going to the Bears at number 10.
Really?
They need a running back. They've got DeAndre Swift, but they need a running back. DeAndre
Really?
Swift, DeAndre Swift at this point in his career is a third down back.
Mm, mm, mm.
Do you want me to tell you who I have your Cowboys taking?
We probably need an offensive line or a running back.
I actually have them taking James Pierce Jr., the edge out of Tennessee.
What about the offensive tackle from LSU?
Uh, Let me see here. Nope, don't have him on the board. Wait, yeah, I do. Will Campbell, I've got him going 11 to the 49ers.
Okay, where do you have the tackle? I believe it was a tackle or a guard out of North Dakota State, Greg Zabel.
Yeah, I've got him. Where's
Because
he at?
I saw some film of him at the Senior Bowl. He was very impressive. He was very
Yeah,
I was
let me hold
impressed.
on. I actually don't have him in the first round.
Hmm.
See, you saw the film on him. I saw him live. He's very good. I think he's in day. I think he's a day two guy, early day two. I think he's a day two guy. In fact, after we get done with the topics, we can do like a mock draft on here. Uh, Either do a mock draft video or do like a just do it live on the podcast at the end.
It's just like, well, for me, it's like the main focus is
Oh,
obviously
the Iowa State wide receiver, Jaden Higgins. I've got him going to the Texans.
that's who I was talking about, Jaden Higgins, the
Yeah,
size.
I've got.
That's who I
Well, I
was
mean,
talking about.
McMillan's huge too. Like McMillan's a big kid too, and he's fast.
It's just here's
Uh,
the thing though. I don't see why with Houston because they still got Tank Dell and Stephon Diggins,
I see why because Stefon's technically a free agent, and Tank Dell is injury prone.
and then you still got Nico Collins.
Yeah, but you do need another. You need a wide receiver in case in case um Tank gets
Stephon
hurt.
doesn't resign, and if Stephon Diggs doesn't
Well,
resign,
apparently Stephon Diggs wants to go to Dallas because his brother's there. That's something I've been hearing.
I just don't see why that would happen because you have a better chance of competing with Houston compared to Dallas.
I didn't say he wanted to go there to compete. I think he wanted to go there because of his brother.
And I think that's stupid.
Also, it won't happen because Jerry Jones ain't gonna pay him.
Right.
Jerry Jones may not even pay Trayvon Diggs when his contract's ready. Y'all could lose everybody in like the next 3 years.
Right.
Because I don't think Trayvon's got that many years left on his deal either. I think he's got
He
2.
he signed. Yeah, I think he's got like 2 years left. But
But
pretty much to answer the question with the Patriots, I say it's obviously T. Higgins, number
yeah,
one, free agency in the draft. Like I said, I got Higgins out of Iowa State. Like I said, I like the size for him, 6'3", 6'4",
yeah. I
because
have
you
the
need a.
Patriots like I said taking Travis Hunter.
I got them taking Travis Hunter too. If he is not taken if Tennessee, here's the thing, if Tennessee trades the number one pick, I don't think he's going to go to Cleveland because I think they're going to take Abdul Carter. He's obviously not going to the Giants because they're going to take either Cam Ward or Shador Sanders. So it'll probably be New England.
So my top 4, if it stayed, and I'll have to redo it, but if it stayed, based on when I did it though, if it had stayed the way that I thought it was going to stay, I've got Cam Ward to the Titans,
Okay.
Shador to the Browns,
Okay.
Abdul Carter to the Giants, Travis Hunter
Okay.
to the Patriots, Will Johnson, the corner out of Michigan. I've got him going number 5 to Jacksonville. There's not a lot of depth at the cornerback and wide receiver position in this draft class.
Right.
There's not a lot of round one talent. Like I've got Jack Beck, the TCU wide receiver,
Hmm.
going in the first round to Denver at number 20.
Hmm.
Now, do I think he's a first round talent? No, but there's not a lot of option at wide receiver this year. Xavier Restrepo, I've got him going to Green Bay. No,
Higgins may be either a first round or maybe a day two type of receiver.
yeah, Jaden Higgins. I think Jaden will end up being somebody like Xavier Legette, like a day 2 guy, early
So
day 2,
here
but a day.
so here's my top five. So I want to focus mainly on just the top five. So but we're gonna make a video in the future for the full first round. But my
Yeah,
top five, if everything stands on where it is right now, it's tough. So I will have there's a possibility. I don't think they should take a quarterback number one overall because I think you should give Will Levis one last chance. But I have Cam Ward number one, like you said. I
Yeah.
have Travis Hunter number two to Cleveland.
Don't
Then
do
I
that to him.
have sadly I have Shador Sanders going to the Giants. I'll have Abdul I'll have Abdul Carter to the Patriots, and number
Nope.
five, Will Howard out of Michigan.
I'm sorry, what? To
Oh wait.
Jacksonville?
No, number five. Isn't number five who's number five? Who's number five?
Jacksonville.
Because here's the thing. You need to add someone on that defense because Trayvon Walker that you drafted number one a couple years
Yeah.
ago, he's not the guy. He's obviously not the guy. So imagine Will Howard in Jacksonville. He could maybe be their Jalen Ramsey. Because remember, Jalen Ramsey was drafted in the top 10 years ago. And look what happened.
I've got Will Johnson going number 5 to the Jags. The corner out of Michigan.
So he could be their Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, that's who I have in the NFL comp as is Jalen Ramsey.
But here's one thing, but to finish number 6, I wish Shador Sanders would go to the Raiders, but if they can't get Shador Sanders, if they want a quarterback, I say the only quarterback that I see as a first round talent besides the obvious Shador and Cam Ward is Ohio State Will Howard.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to the next subject, which is Kupp leaving LA.
I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him.
Here's my thing. When I saw this across my Twitter feed, I said 2 things. 1, what the fuck? And 2, huh? Because here's my thing. Cooper Kupp didn't ask for a trade. The Rams are just trading him. They've allowed him to look for a trade partner, but he never asked for a trade. He's happy as the number 2 option in LA behind Puka Nacua and playing with Matthew Stafford.
It's the injuries, but that's not a good excuse.
I don't care.
That's not a good
excuse.
You've
got a 37-year-old quarterback in Matthew Stafford. You've got, how old's Puka? Like 22, 23 years old?
He's young. He's a young guy.
He's only in his 3rd year, I think.
He's a rising superstar in the Rams. Absolutely.
Cooper Kupp is on the other side and on the wrong side of 30 or close to it. But he's still a really good receiver. When he's healthy.
And don't forget what he did in 2021. Don't forget what he did in 2021. Just like you said, he's a Triple Crown winner.
3 years ago, he's the reason they won the damn Super Bowl.
Super Bowl MVP.
I think OBJ would have been.
No. No, because even if OBJ did not get hurt, they still would have looked at Cooper Kupp. Because remember, there's a reason why Cooper Kupp was the number 1 guy.
Yeah.
He should, I said this. He should have won MVP in 2021. If he would have had 2,000 receiving yards, the first guy to do it, he would have won MVP.
That's the same thing people said about Tyreek. And he had the 2K.
No, he didn't. 17. He had 1,700.
That's right. And then, they would have given it to them. Let's be real. The MVP award is the quarterback award at this point.
True. Because if we're being honest,
the MVP.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. Saquon should have won MVP, to be honest.
And I'll
the most valuable player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's just name the MVP the MVQ. The MVQB. Most valuable quarterback. Because that's what it is. You've had Aaron Rodgers has won it 4 times. There's not Devontae Adams was his wide receiver. You think Rodgers was more valuable to the Packers than Devontae? No.
The first 2, Devontae Adams wasn't even there. But the second 2,
the last 2.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
And plus, And plus, and like you said, most valuable, Matthew Stafford was never in the MVP when Cooper Cup had the Triple Crown because
Yep.
Cooper Cup was the guy.
Yep. And they
So for
knew that.
him,
The voters knew
and
that.
for them wanting to trade Cooper Cup, that's just crazy, man.
But let's talk about it since they are trading him. Where do you think he ended up landing? They're not going to give him to the division
Obviously,
because even though they're willing to trade him, they're not stupid. They're not going to trade him to San Francisco. Which,
right?
if they did, could you imagine Cup, Ayuk, and Ricky Pearsall next year? Dear God.
And George Kittle.
Well, Jordan's getting older. I
So
think
if we're
George is
not,
30 now.
so if we're not going in the division, I say a team that could use a veteran receiver like Cooper Cup.
Oh,
Hey,
Cowboys.
you got to think. You got to think about it. Think about it. Washington.
No, I think they like who they've got there.
Uh,
And at this point in his career, I don't know if Cooper Cup is a game changer.
Chargers. Pair him up with Lad McConkey.
See, I don't think they do that because it's the same building.
But
I don't
it's
think
in a
they go to
different
the same
conference.
building.
It's in a
I know,
different
but I don't.
conference.
But I think the Rams would not want to have to see him every day if they trade him. It'd be
I
great
think
for him and his family. It'd be great for him and his family because they'd be able to stay in their home and live in LA. But I don't think I think they're not doing it in the division and they're not doing it in the same building.
I just think that with
I'd be like
the
the Jets trading
coach.
to the Giants. It's not going to happen.
Well, here's the thing: you got the coach. You got the right coach in Jim Harbaugh. You got the right quarterback in Justin Herbert. And then
Uh,
you got the right number one receiver in Lad McConkey. Imagine that.
I think Loud would fall back to the number 2 receiver though if Cooper got there. I think Cooper's a better receiver than Ladd.
He is, but if you just saw what happened with the Rams, Cup will probably be number two because he sees what Lad McConkey did in his rookie year.
I mean, fair. I think he ends up in maybe Vegas with Pete Carroll because Pete Carroll's always respected him. Tom Brady
May
respects him, and they need a wide receiver to complement Brock Bowers.
true that. And Jacoby Myers. And Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, but I'm thinking honestly, dude.
I say the
I think
Chargers.
there's I think there's 2 places that legitimately have a shot at getting him. I think the Raiders need to make the phone call,
Okay.
and if I'm the Patriots, I'm making the phone call.
Strictly because of the cap space, I understand why you said that. I understand.
Because I also do not see them trading him to Dallas. I don't. And I also don't see Cooper Cup wanting to go to Dallas.
I just think with even though they're in the same building, they're in a different conference. I think I could see him with the Chargers because, like I said, you got the coach, you got the quarterback, and you got the receiver.
But here's nothing. Could you imagine if like the Jets traded Garrett Wilson to the Giants? Like, yeah, you traded him out of conference and out of division, but you still have to see him every day, and you still have to deal with the fact that you gave away that player to a team in your building.
But here's what I gotta tell you: this happens all the time. It's business.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Business, but also the players on the Rams would have to see Cooper Cup every day. That's not business. That's personal.
So what happened with? Okay,
That's just the way I'm thinking about it, you know.
I get it.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't see him going to Dallas. They may not even trade him in conference on the chance they have to see him. They might trade him to the AFC. And if
Yeah,
they do, New England pick up the damn phone
yeah.
because he can be your number 1 wide receiver, or you can get him, draft a wide receiver, and you can have a great number 2 and a veteran presence in that locker room that you need. You need
Or you
somebody
could
like that in your locker room.
or you could trade for Cooper Cup, and if you have enough money, go after T. Higgins.
But I still think they need the veteran presence of a Cooper Cup in their locker room.
And get the best option at free agency in T. Higgins. That would be dope.
Could you imagine? Because like a couple years ago, T and Cooper were on opposite sides in the Super Bowl.
Imagine if they were teammates.
Drake may be in their goal. We just look, Patriots. Y'all want to put an end to the Chiefs dynasty so bad, so they'll stop comparing it to y'all's. Go get Cooper Cup and T. Higgins, and then draft Mbakwe out of Ohio State.
Or you could draft Will Johnson with the defense, or Travis Hunter.
Nah, they need a wide receiver. They need a dog.
If you got Cooper.
They've got
Whoa. Didn't you just say that T. Higgins? If you said they need a dog, T. Higgins would be the dog.
Yeah, but I'm saying they need a third dog on that receiver room.
They need defense. And who's available?
Hold on. Can you name any wide receivers in New England right now? I'm waiting. No, you can't. Can you name any deep defensive backs in New England right now? Are you telling me you can't name the 2 starting defensive backs they've got?
I mean, he's not on the team anymore, but J.C. Jackson, he's not there no more though.
I'm running my home. Jonathan Jones, who's like 28. Christian Gonzalez. Gonzo.
I'm just saying, it would be a lot stronger if they get Travis Hunter.
And I'm just telling you right now, it'll be a lot. They can get Travis Hunter and play wide receiver for all I care.
Hell, they could get better at defense. They can get better at the
three wide receivers. They need 3 wide receivers.
And also, if you get T. Higgins and Cooper Cup, you could draft Abdul Carter if he's available. You could draft Abdul Carter.
They can go pass rush, sure. But they need a third wide receiver. But we're about to get to a guy that could be their third option. Debo has requested a trade again, and he has been granted permission to look for a team this time. They're ready to move on.
They should take. I'll take. They should tank. They should tank.
Who?
The 49ers. Because here's the thing, though. I'll say why. Here's why. Y'all got yourselves in this situation. Debo wanted out years ago, but y'all said no. You paid Brandon Ayuk. He wanted to be traded.
Tank? Did you say tank?
All right, I won't say tank. Rebuild. I'll say rebuild.
No, they don't need to. No, they don't.
Why?
Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey,
injury.
George Kittle. McCaffrey's going to be back next year. He's fine. George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Ricky Pearsall, Trent Williams, who may retire and he may not. We don't know.
He's going to retire. He's almost 40. He's going to retire. He's almost 40.
We don't know that. Leonard Floyd on the other side of Nick Bosa. Who's that other linebacker they've got? Dre Greenlaw. And you're saying tank?
I'm not okay. Let me.
They're too
Okay, Tank.
talented to tank.
There, I said the wrong word. I think they should rebuild because
They
I just
can't.
don't. Here's the thing, though.
Okay, do you know why? Hold on. Do you know why they're trading Debo? They're trading
Why?
Debo not because they don't want him, because his salary cap hit, and they got to pay Brock Purdy. So by trading him, they get that money off the books, and they can pay Brock Purdy.
I think that's a terrible freaking move because yes, Brock Purdy
Hold on.
went to a Super Bowl. I just don't think Brock Purdy deserves the money.
You know who didn't deserve the money?
Daniel
Dak.
Jones.
Dak didn't deserve it. Daniel Jones didn't deserve it.
Here we go again.
Trevor Lawrence didn't deserve it.
Daniel Jones didn't deserve the money.
I said Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
They didn't deserve it. Justin Herbert didn't deserve it.
Josh Allen didn't deserve it.
Well, no, hold on now. You went too far. Josh Allen has been to an AFC Championship game. He's been to the AFC Championship.
Hell, I could tell you someone that should have been undrafted, bro. A quarterback that should have been undrafted.
You better not say Brock Purdy.
Seriously, a quarterback that should have been drafted is Bo Nix.
Boot your ass. How can you say that? He went to the playoffs as a fucking rookie with nobody around him. Rodney? You know who shouldn't have been drafted? You know who shouldn't have been drafted? Who should have never been drafted? Jared Stidham shouldn't have been drafted. Caleb Williams shouldn't have been drafted.
Then you should say that CJ Stroud shouldn't have been drafted then. Say that then. How about saying Bryce Young should have been drafted? How about you say that?
I agree with that. Bryce Young, year one and most of year two, look like he shouldn't have been drafted.
But he balled out towards the end and showed he has talent.
Like he shouldn't have been. Okay, but Caleb Williams did not do that.
But now he's got the coach. Now he's got the coach, and he's going to ball out.
No. You just said, but hold on now. Hold on now. I caught your ass. I caught you. You just said that Bryce Young shouldn't have been drafted, or that we said that, but then you said, well, he balled out towards the end, right? That's what you said. That was your word, right?
I wasn't legit saying that. I wasn't legit saying that. I was saying it from your perspective.
But you just said though that Bryce Young balled out towards the end, right? That's what you said. That was your word.
He did.
I listen to everything you say, Rodney. You know who else balled out towards the end and took their team to the playoffs? That would be Bo Nix, who you said shouldn't have been drafted.
I was trolling. I wasn't saying I was trolling.
Oh, I know you was.
But legit, Debo, he should have been traded a long time ago. But so here's the thing.
Traded him when he first asked for it a couple years ago.
They should have. Now, who's a good team that could use a receiver that could play running back, who you could use as a sweep guy, a
Cowboys.
Team that wants to run you down your throat, and just imagine if he could be the second receiver on your team.
Cowboys.
And you have a quarterback that could get you the ball.
Cowboys.
A team who I'm talking about Detroit.
No.
Imagine.
No. You said a team that needed a running back. They don't need a running back.
I'm talking about receivers.
They've got to. And they don't need a wide receiver. Because you mentioned the jet sweep stuff that Debo does. J-Mo does it just as well, if not better. Because he's faster than Debo.
But what if Jameson gets hurt? You need someone to pair
Lamar
with
Jackson
Amara.
does the same damn thing.
Hey man, I'm just saying, the more the merrier. You can make it.
Jameer
You can
Gibbs.
make.
Jameer Gibbs is athletic enough. He can play wide receiver if they needed him to.
I'm just saying, the more the merrier. And then you got Sam Laporta. Just, I'm saying, with all the weapons, imagine.
Oh my God, brother. Dallas needs Debo.
How about
Can you
Minnesota?
hold on? No, Minnesota don't need Debo. They got Jordan Addison. They got Justin Jefferson. They got T.J. Hawkinson. They got Aaron Jones.
But you just said when New England needs a third guy, Minnesota could use a third guy.
No, they don't. They don't need a third guy. They've got a third guy. Hold on. Let me look it up. They got a third guy. I know they have a third guy. Hold up.
I'm just saying. You said New England needs a third guy. I, Debo, the Lions and Minnesota would not be. Hey, they got two receivers, yes, but hell, throw in a third guy. They could be unstoppable. And they both
No,
got two of the best
no, no,
tight
no,
ends.
no need a third guy.
They got two of
Hold
the
on.
best tight ends in the game. So imagine that. Hawkinson and Laporta. Imagine that. Adding Debo.
Hold on. Let me go to this real quick. This is the depth chart for the Vikings. Actually, it doesn't show it. Hold on. Let me go to the roster. Let's see. They've got
I love.
Vikings have Jordan. Vikings have Jordan Addison.
Yes.
Hold on. They've got Justin Jefferson. They got T.J. Hawkinson. They got Aaron
Yes.
Jones.
Yes. Justin Jefferson. My favorite receiver. Well, my second favorite. My second.
Jalen Naylor. They've got a third guy. Naylor's a really good receiver. He's a third option, but he's a good receiver. And they've got plenty of tight ends. And
I'm
they've
just saying.
got the running back because they've
Now,
got Aaron Jones and they've got Cam Akers. They don't need another running back.
now, I will be honest. I would love Debo and Dallas to pair with CD. I would love that.
You know what? You know what though? Y'all need him. Y'all need him because y'all need a running back and y'all need a wide receiver too.
But here's the thing, though. What if Dallas drafts Ashton Genty? Then we don't need a running back.
He ain't gonna fall to y'all. He's not. Jerry would have to trade up to get him. He's too
No,
good.
no. Because
He
here's
is
the
too
thing.
good to fall out of the top 10.
Because here's the thing. Teams are looking for quarterbacks, offensive linemen, and defense. If you
I just
look at
told
some of
you
the
where
teams,
Gentry's gonna go.
where,
Chicago.
even
Why
with
do they have
DeAndre Swift there, even with
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift there,
My thing is this. Look at this. Look at DeAndre Swift at this point in DeAndre Swift's career, he's a third down back. Why do you think the Eagles were okay letting him walk? Because they knew he was a third down back. He wasn't a first and second down back.
now let me ask this.
Ashton Genty can do for Chicago what Saquon Barkley did for Philly.
I would not go that far. I would not go
He
that
can
far.
he can make their run game explosive.
So you think that Ashton Genty is going to get 2,000 yards in his rookie year?
No, but I think he can make. I think he can take a lot of the pressure off of Caleb Williams, which Saquon took a lot of the pressure off Jalen Hurts. I think he'll take a lot of pressure off DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Roman Dunze, which Saquon took pressure off of AJ Brown and and Devontae Smith and
Dallas Goddard.
I was going to say Dallas Goddard, but also the third wide receiver they've got.
Now this is my question. This is my question. Do you think Ben Johnson is going to want to take a running back that high?
Yes, Ben Johnson.
Now,
Hold on. Ben Johnson, who just came from Detroit, they had David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs. How high was Jameer drafted?
mm, mm.
But then I know everybody said he was a stretch pick when they got him.
He was number 12. So outside outside the top 10. He was outside the top 10.
Okay, yeah. But that's still high for a running back. You know that Ben Johnson's going to take Ash Christie? That high?
It's a stretch. It's a stretch. But if Debo does not go to, well, I'm just going to end it with Debo. I say Dallas. Dallas.
You know what's funny is that everybody said it was a stretch when Jahmyr Gibbs got drafted to Detroit, and look at what he's done in Detroit his first 2 years.
I think he should be the number one running back over David Montgomery.
He will be next year.
Yeah.
I think they use Montgomery because Montgomery's more of a power back, a first and
Right.
second down back. But I think Jahmyr Gibbs proved that he can be when Montgomery got hurt. I think Jahmyr Gibbs proved he can be a first, second, third down back.
Right.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the next thing. This was interesting to me. The Colts have a quarterback issue. Now I want to read you this. I know you probably saw it on my Instagram story earlier.
I did.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
so the GM of the Colts.
Hold on, let me do this. Hold on.
All right, go ahead.
I want to do it because I like Pat McAfee and I'd like to make the show.
It was just
Colts
my guy.
GM.
It's my guy, so
Chris Ballard, Colts GM. In parentheses, Anthony Richardson, because that's who he was talking about, has not proven that he can play 17 games. Now, here's my thing. Take it, Rodney. I can't stop laughing.
So I said this a couple years ago. I said when he was drafted in the same draft as Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, I said myself, he was going to be the boom or bust type of quarterback in that same draft. Because for people that remember, he did not play a lot when he was at Florida. So I knew that he was going to have a hard time in the league because the only reason why he was drafted so high because of his physical traits. But we have seen time after time after time after time. The guys who have the physical traits, they don't make it in the NFL.
Real quick, I just want to remind everybody, the guy we're talking about is the same guy who, after a real big run in the game, woohoo, and it was like week 8 or 9, I'm tired. That was a lot of running.
I said this. He was going to be the boomer bust quarterback, and I was so right. He's the boomer bust. He's the boomer bust quarterback.
My only issue is this, though. I'm not going to take a shot at Anthony Richardson. Okay, I actually like Richardson. I mean, he only really got 1 year at Florida as a starter.
He didn't play a lot. That's why I said he didn't play a lot.
He's only played. He's not even played. I think he might have played like 19 games so far in the NFL or so. It was actually something on that post they did.
And he's not that good. He's not an accurate thrower. He's got a strong arm, but he hasn't
played 17 games yet. He's played 15 games.
He hasn't proven to me to be the successor of Andrew Luck. He hasn't proved that to me.
Yeah. Well, at this point, you're the successor of Carson Wentz and Phillip Rivers.
I truly think with Anthony Richardson, this is the last thing I will say about Anthony Richardson because it's not a big topic. This will be his last chance this year. And if he does not, if he doesn't show that he's improved in his third year.
My thing is this. My only thing, I'm going to say this. I agree with you. It's over after this year. Because my question is this. You're the GM of the Colts. You drafted this guy 2 years ago, number 4 overall. What can possess you to publicly say he hasn't proven he can play 17 games yet? In what world did you think that was not going to be funny to laugh at?
And why would you throw him under the bus?
My
Why
thing is
would you
this. My
throw
thing
him
is
under
this.
the bus?
My thing is this. Chris Ballard at one time was with the Chiefs before they got Patrick Mahomes. He's been with the Colts ever since. Colts ain't done nothing. The Chiefs have won 3 Super Bowls,
Yep,
and they've only lost 2. Now, I will point out the 2 they lost were blowouts, but
absolute
still,
blowout.
they've only lost 2.
Absolute. Yeah.
My thing is this, though.
This is
Honestly,
it. This is it for him. This is it for Anthony Richardson. This is it.
my thing is this, though. Is it his talent has proven he can't play 17 games, or his injury history? You got to preference it. I know he's been injured a lot, but you got to preference it, Ballard. You got to tell us: is it that you and Jim Irsay were sitting there talking about Lolita the Whale and said, you know what, he proven he can't play 17 games because of his injury history, or is it his talent? Because if you cut him, there's going to be a team that picks him up. It's going to happen. But no,
Minnesota,
they
maybe.
no,
Well. No. Let me
well
not say that
they
because
won't
they
cut
got
him this
JJ.
year.
They got JJ
They,
and Daniel
well,
Jones. That not
they won't cut him until after this year anyway.
yeah. Because if they don't pick up his 5th-year option,
No, he's in his 3rd year, so they have to pay him his 4th year, and then because that's guaranteed.
here's what I think they should do.
That's what's
He's a
also sad.
free
He's going into his 3rd year.
he's a free agent for veteran experience. Since he's a free agent, since Joe Flacco is not coming back because he might retire,
Where are you
I
going
think
with?
Sam Darnold.
Okay, thank you.
Just in case, because of the veteran experience. Because
Okay, thank
where
God.
is Sam
I
Darnold?
thought you were
Where is
about to do with Aaron Rodgers, and now we're about to turn this thing off.
Aaron Rodgers is going to retire? Case in point, we're going to talk about him soon. Aaron Rodgers should absolutely. Matter of fact, please let this be the next topic. Please, man. Please.
Sure,
Oh my God.
sure. It can be. Well, actually, I was going to save the Rodgers stuff for last. The next topic was going to actually be the Super Bowl stuff, and then the Myles Garrett stuff, and then the Rodgers stuff. But I can move it to make it Rodgers next.
Please.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Oh my God.
But you know what? You know who I think the Colts should get? Honestly,
I said Sam Darnold.
I don't think so. Because
Who else?
Sam's a veteran, but he's not a veteran. You know what I mean? Like he hasn't been in the
How
league
about,
for a long time.
how about Russell Wilson?
Nah. Russell Wilson's too much of a Christian to play for the Colts. I say that respectfully to Jim Irsay. I don't believe Chris Ballard's a Christian. Because if you're a Christian, you wouldn't publicly be burying your quarterback. You know who I think they should get? Genuinely?
Oh.
For the memes alone of Jim Irsay and him
Oh no.
and the entertainment factor
Oh no.
of ayahuasca, and he can stay on his show with McAfee, and he can even go to McAfee's studio and do it now. Peace, man. What up? Enigma. Go to the jungle and smoke some ayahuasca. Aaron Rodgers. Please. Please, Jim Irsay and Chris Ballard. Sign Aaron Rodgers. Please. Listen. I want to see Jim Irsay and Aaron Rodgers try ayahuasca together. I want to see Jim Irsay and Aaron Rodgers sitting with their guitars and their little hippie haircuts, singing Kumbaya, and with a bunch of smoke around them from an ayahuasca fire. I want to see Jim Irsay doing the bongos in the jungle with Jordan Poyer and Aaron Rodgers. I want to see that. That's what I want to see. Please, please. I've never wanted it. I'll never ask the Colts to do anything ever again. Please, I want to see Jim Irsay. I want to see Aaron Rodgers and Pat McAfee every Tuesday in Pat's studio smoking some ayahuasca because I'm sure Pat wants to try it. I want to see Jim Irsay go on one of these retreats with the paint on his face, singing "Kumbaya" and hanging out with Jordan Poyer's mama, smoking some ayahuasca in the jungle like a hippie. Oh,
Are
that'd
you
be
done?
funny. Do you not like that? You walked away. Did you not like? Did you hear what I said? Did you like what I said?
Absolutely not.
You're a fucking asshole.
I hope you make this the next subject.
You can't tell. Oh, we are. New York, Gotham City. Hell yeah, you got rid of A-Rod. Now I'm gonna let Rodney take over because Rodney wants this subject. Rodney, floor is yours, my friend.
Aaron Rodgers. Aaron bleeping Rodgers.
You can cut if you.
How dare you? How dare you, Aaron Rodgers? Do what you did with the Jets and think
Kumbaya.
and think you was going to get away with it. I said this was not going to be a good season with the Jets. And sure enough, I was right. Aaron Rodgers, you're trying to be like Tom Brady. Be successful in your 40s. Well,
Peace of
guess
love,
what?
man.
Guess what, Aaron Rodgers? That ain't finna happen, my boy. That ain't finna happen. You know what you should do? Take your ass out of New York. Take your ass on your retreat. Smoke some weed and retire. Because no team wants you after this season.
Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya.
No team
Please
wants
go to the Colts.
no one wants Aaron Rodgers after this season. That is
I
not
want him on the
happening.
Colts. I
It's
want him
not
on the
happening.
Colts. I want him on the Colts, not for football reasons. I want him on the Colts for entertainment purposes. Could you imagine? Could you imagine Jim Irsay, Aaron Rodgers, and Pat McAfee in the same room at the same time?
Aaron Rodgers, what you need to do,
We know
just
Irsay
like
smokes weed, and we know Pat does. Come on.
I'm gonna say
Ayahuasca's got
this
to be weed.
before we go ahead and talk about Myles Garrett and end with the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Here's what I think Aaron Rodgers should do. Just like my,
Kumbaya.
just like my, just like my shirt, Aaron Rodgers,
Don't
you need to pack your bags and yeet your ass out the NFL and retire.
don't disrespect Jay Uso like that. Don't
Jay
put Jay
Uso,
Uso's don't
the
don't
next,
put Jay Uso's don't put Jay Uso's catchphrase in the same sentence as Aaron Rodgers.
the next world heavyweight champion, Jay Uso. All
I
my
don't,
respects, my brother.
I don't think he will be, but do not put his catchphrase in the same sentence as Aaron Rodgers. That's disrespectful. You apologize to that man right now.
But all I gotta say is F Aaron Rodgers. Let's go ahead and talk about Myles Garrett.
Aaron, I want to see you in Indianapolis just for the fun of it. Speaking of another player that wants out,
Now this is big. This is big. Cleveland, once again, you have proven to be the factory of sadness.
I think
Again,
my favorite part is Andrew Barry, the GM, said they're not going to trade him. You're not
y'all
going to have a
better.
choice. You won't have a choice.
You're
He
gonna
won't show up.
you're
He won't
he's
show
not
up.
gonna show up. Yeah, you're gonna have to trade him. You're gonna have to trade him.
Oh my gosh.
Now there's one team I said earlier in the year because of the injuries, they should trade for Miles Garrett. But
There's two teams.
now
There's two teams.
there's one team, one big team, and imagine Miles Garrett on the other side with their best defensive player. Oh my God, their defense would be scary as hell.
I know where you're going with this, but there's two teams.
You know where I'm going with this.
Yes, I do.
If you remember, if you want someone to slang your helmet, you should go to the team that's going to bite off your damn kneecaps. Detroit, Detroit, Detroit.
Yeah, that's
Him and Aiden Hutchinson would be the best defense in the league, bar
real
none.
cute. That's real cute. Now, are you ready for me to tell you the real team he needs to go to?
I know who you're about to say. I know.
Do you?
I know.
Do you?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I don't think you do.
Yes, I do.
Miles Garrett, you want to win championships? Because that's what you said.
I knew it. I knew it.
That's what you said in your post. You want to win
I
championships.
knew it. I knew it.
You want to be part of the best defense in the league?
I knew it.
You want to be part of greatness, son?
I knew it.
I know where you don't want to go. You don't want to go to Dallas. You want to go to Philadelphia.
I knew it. I knew it.
With the Eagles. Look, they're about to lose Brandon Graham to retirement.
Right.
They need a replacement. And Howie Roseman has shown he'll do whatever it takes to get the best players in Philly. And could you imagine a football team? This Philly football team with Myles Garrett,
Jalen Carter,
and Jalen Carter on the defensive line.
That would be scary.
You want to talk about a team that could three-peat? They got Saquon for 2 more years.
Yep.
They can re-sign AJ Brown and re-sign Devontae Smith. They've already signed Jalen Hurts.
There's one more team
that will
I got one more team.
Well, who you got?
Remember, there have been times where people have been traded in the same division.
Not a shot in hell, and I know where you're going with this.
I'm telling you right now, I saw a video of this on TikTok. And if it happens, I will send it to your ass and tell you I told you so.
There you go. Language, brother.
I'm telling you right now. I will send it to your I will send you the TikTok. Imagine Myles Garrett.
I know where you're going with this. Go ahead.
You want to play with a game-changing quarterback? You want to play with a game-changing running back? You want to play with a game? You want to hold up. You want to play with a game-changing tight end? Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett.
Yep.
I want to go to Baltimore.
Different than where I thought you were going to say.
I want to go to Baltimore.
Okay, well, that's not happening. But different than what I thought you were going to say.
Who would you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to say the Steelers because of TJ Watt.
That would be nasty, but no. I say Baltimore.
Those two, I don't think it would matter who the quarterback in Pittsburgh is. You got 2 legit grown men on that defense. Now, I don't think they'd be able to coexist because, they've got that rivalry between the two of them. Like the sack leader.
Steelers and Browns.
Well, also, Myles and TJ have like a legit rivalry over the sack, over like the defensive player of the year and the sack leader and stuff like that.
I say he would be a better fit in Baltimore. But number 1 on my list is Detroit. That's number 1, Detroit.
I think it's Philly, I'd say the Cowboys, but Jerry won't do it because I think Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons could be a deadly duo, and I think that'd be the only thing that would keep Micah in Dallas anyway. If he
Yeah.
had a guy like Miles,
Or
San
don't
Francisco,
forget
San Francisco, I could
he
see.
he might get traded, but if he doesn't, what if you send him to Las Vegas?
No,
I forgot his freaking name, bro. I forgot his name.
Max Crosby.
Max Crosby and Miles Garrett.
No, I think he goes to an NFC team.
And who's number one besides Philly? Who's number one? Detroit. Aiden
I'd say San
Hutchinson.
Francisco. I
I
would say.
say Detroit.
Hold on. The reason I would say the reason I would say San Francisco over Detroit right now is Detroit does have Zadarius Smith, so they do have another pass rusher along with Aiden Hutchinson.
The more
San
the
Fran,
merrier. The more the
San.
merrier.
Imagine, dude. You just said they need to rebuild, right? They need to San Francisco needs to rebuild. Imagine a defense with Fred Warner, Myles Garrett, and Nick Bosa. I don't care if you're Patrick Mahomes. I don't care if you're Jalen. I don't care if you're God Himself. You're not beating that defense.
Imagine a defense with Aiden Hutchinson and Miles Garrett. You're not going to have any legs. You're not even going to have a body left. With your head, your knees, everything is going to be gone if you had Aiden Hutchinson and Miles
The other thing
Garrett
would be
on the
fun.
defensive
The other
line.
thing would be fun. The other thing would be fun, and I might do it to grade Myles Garrett and Madden to some of these teams we're thinking about. Simulate the entire season, see how the record goes. Simulate the postseason and see if they win the Super Bowl. And whichever
I
one he
got
does better
Detroit.
on, whichever one
I
he
got
does better on,
Detroit.
whichever one he
I
does
got
better on,
Detroit.
with the sacks and all that, I'm gonna tag on Twitter in a post like y'all need to go get this man. Whatever
I
it
got
takes.
Detroit. I got Detroit.
I
I
got
got
I,
Detroit.
I got Philly. I got Philly because yes, Detroit's got Aiden Hutchinson. Philadelphia's got Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter.
He's a big dude. Georgia boy. Georgia boy.
Two Georgia boys. Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter.
All right.
Plus
Right.
plus N'Kobe Dean, Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, Blankenship. Plus, dude, we're gonna talk about it in a minute. That Super Bowl, it wasn't the name guys getting to Mahomes. It was dudes we hadn't heard of.
And Darius Slay, he didn't have that. He really didn't do much. Darius Slay.
Nah. It was the dudes we hadn't heard of that were destroying that Chiefs offense.
I,
Imagine if Myles Garrett was on that defense.
I think we may have saved the best topic for last. I think
Oh,
we
we did.
did. Yeah,
Hold
we
on.
did.
And I need to actually, we're probably going to get copyrighted for this, but I do not care. I do not care. I do not care. Because I need to do this.
All right, we saved the best for
Hold
last,
on.
guys.
Hold on. No. In fact, I'm going to pull you out so you don't spoil it. Real quick, I need to do this. Hold on. Let me just go to YouTube. Because Spotify's acting up. Hold on. Now, we'll get copyrighted for this, but I don't care. Or maybe we won't. Maybe they'll see that we're doing it for the Chiefs and they won't copyright us. Now, hold on. Hold on. That's not right. Hold on. Let me mute this. Okay, you ready for this? This is
Hmm.
the moment we've all been waiting for. This is for Patrick Mahomes. This is for Travis Kelce. This is for Taylor Swift. Can you hear it? What? You can't hear it? Hold
Turn
on.
it
You know what?
up.
I have it all the way up. What the heck? That sucks. Anyway, I was trying to play the song na 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 hey 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 goodbye. Cause y'all got your ass humbled. Hey, my homie, how does Jalen Hurts' dick feel, bitch? Huh? How does it feel to know that you got rammed by fucking Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, and they didn't have their car keys? Huh? How about that?
How? Let me say something. How the
Hey,
hell?
Travis Kelce, how does it feel to only have like 30 yards and like 2 catches in front of the love of your life, Taylor Swift? Hey, Taylor Swift, how does it feel getting your ass booed on the Jumbotron in New Orleans after you sold out that stadium like a couple months ago? Hey, Drake, say Drake,
I hear you
how
like
did
I'm
the halftime
young.
show feel? Halftime show feel?
You know,
Oh,
you
you know
better
what?
never go to cell block one.
I didn't feel Drake when the entire crowd, they all did it. A minor. Huh? How that
Er,
shit feel, bitch? How that shit feel?
and Chiefs, you know how embarrassing it was that game? They said it time after time again. The Eagles never one time blitzed.
Hold on. I'm playing the song.
I Monster Hunter beef hoe, beef bo, penny rack, nigga, he a freak though, man down, all I ever lambs, tell him please bro, nail a nigga to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What these jabroni ass niggas trying to see Compton? The industry can hate me, fuck with Marlon, they mama.
Hold on. Where's that? Where's that? Where's that?
All right. I don't want to get copyrighted. I
Hold
don't want
on.
to get copyrighted.
I hate you like I'm young.
Hold on. Hold on.
I extort shit.
Hold on.
Drake. I hate you like I'm
I hear
young.
you like I'm young.
I hate you
Cell block.
Hey, man. Hey. The Chiefs and Drake got their ass humbled. You know,
How do you lose to a team that
the best part of the halftime show, though, let's go to the halftime show for a minute. The best part was he had Serena Williams out there crip walking. Bro, the beef is over. Kendrick won.
Drake
All
should
right,
never
let's
come
go.
back for that? How
No,
how
bro, Drake ain't never coming back.
zero Vic Fangio, who's a great defensive coordinator, he never blitzed. Not one time he blitzed. And the Eagles had like what 6 sacks, two interceptions, a fumble recovery.
You know what my favorite stat was of that? The whole game? My favorite stat. This is my favorite stat.
What was it?
The Chiefs didn't cross the 50-yard line the first 9 possessions. The first 9 times they had the ball in their hand, they never crossed the 50-yard line.
You know what was also my favorite stat?
The
In the
Eagles didn't
first
have blitz.
the Chiefs in the first half had less than 50 total yards.
You know what my favorite play was in the first half?
What?
They's a white boy got a pick 6 in the Super Bowl. Bro, when did that ever happen? I don't know of a time that has ever happened in the 59 years of the Super Bowl. Has there ever been a white guy to get an get a pick 6? I don't think it's ever. I think that was history.
He said it, not me. He said it, not me.
Hey, you can say it because hey, Mahomes. But here's my actual like this is a legit question. We make jokes, but here's a legit question. if the Chiefs were that bad all year, but I don't think that was a fluke one game. I think they were that bad all year. How bad was the AFC? Because the Bills lost to them. Despite what people think, I don't think the refs helped the Chiefs. I don't. I think they got some lucky calls, but I don't think they helped the Chiefs as much as what people claim they did.
They helped against the Texans. They definitely did against the Texans.
They helped against the
Yes,
Bills too. They helped against the Bills too
yes.
on that
The Texans.
bogus first down that should have been a first down that wasn't.
Yes. And here's the thing. And here's the thing that is also embarrassing.
They started the Super Bowl by calling an offensive pass interference on AJ Brown.
Bro, I said, oh my God, here we go again.
Barely touched him. He barely touched him.
On that first drive, I literally said, oh my God, ref ball. Here we go again. Here we go again.
Also, bro, the defender for the Chiefs, I don't remember who it was. He didn't turn his head around. He never saw the ball. AJ just pushed off a little. He nudged him a little bit, barely touched him.
You know what's even more embarrassing about that game? Travis Kelce was going to propose to Taylor Swift if they won the game.
I don't think. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. No. I know that's been a rumor. I think Travis is too much of a private person. He wouldn't do a public proposal like that.
Hey, Patrick Mahomes.
But you know what's funny?
How does Jalen Hurts' dick taste? For real.
They already used that.
How does Saquon Barkley's dick taste? How does Nick Sirianni?
We can't use Saquon.
All right, how about this?
AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, use him.
Big Fangio. How does his old ass dick taste?
Oh my God, dude. How does Kellen
Who's the defensive coordinator? Big Fangio.
Yep. Hey, you know what my favorite? Here's the thing though. You know what would have been funny? Let's say the Chiefs had won the game and three-peated. And let's say Travis did propose to Taylor. What if she rejected him on national television for the
Travis
whole world?
Kelce, he would be the biggest simp in the world.
Could you imagine if they win the Super Bowl and he's down there with his buddies and she comes down and his whole family's around because his whole family was there. Jason, Kylie, the kids, his parents, they were all there. Her family was there. And he hid it in his bag or hid it somewhere on the football field. I'm sure it wasn't in his pants, but he hid it, somewhere. And Pat or one of the equipment guys hands him the box as she's walking him down. And, he gets down on his one knee in front of her and he proposes. And then she goes, no. Talk about a terrible after party.
Now,
I don't think she would reject him because I do think they end up getting married eventually.
Right.
But I don't think Travis would have done a public proposal because Travis didn't even want the world to know he was dating Taylor Swift. He tried to keep it as private as possible. The problem is her fucking fan base is psycho and found him.
Now, here's another thing that you got to think about being serious for a moment with the Chiefs. Now you got to think about what's for the future because Travis Kelce, he said that he's undecided on what he's going to do in the future. I said myself, okay, look at Travis Kelce. You're 36. You got 3 Super Bowls. You're arguably the best tight end in league history. You have nothing else to play for. When
it comes to Trav, here's my thing. I think had they won and three-peated, he would have retired like Peyton Manning did, right there in front of everybody at the game. I think if they had three-peated, I think he would have retired Sunday night. I think the reason he's mulling over the decision is he probably knows his body isn't what it once was. His skills have diminished because of his age. He probably wants to get married to Taylor and just travel, which if he does, and work on his podcast with his brother. And also, bro, his name is so big and he's so popular. ESPN, Fox, all these places would call him for a contract. He would probably go ESPN because of Jason being there.
And the thing is, you're
Him
not
making
the best tight end. You're not the best tight end in the league right now because like the names that we
Well,
already mentioned.
yeah, Brock
Laporta,
Bowers. Brock Bowers is the best
Laporta,
tight end.
Laporta, Hawkinson, Bowers, Kittle, you know, Dalton Schultz,
I think
Dallas
it's Brock
Goddard.
Bowers.
He's no longer the best tight end in the league. So I think with Travis Kelsey, seeing that he's 36, you got 3 Super Bowls, you're arguably the best tight end in the league ever.
And
So,
he admitted today, dude. He admitted today. He's played a lot more football than a lot of other people because they keep going to the Super Bowl. They keep getting there.
right,
And that's 4 extra games on his body, or 3 extra games on his body.
right,
And it's not easy, you
right.
know.
And
And he
especially at
admitted
his
that.
age. He's
Like,
36 at
he
his
admitted that.
age.
And Jason was like, yeah, man, like you're preaching to the choir here. Like I knew. He's like, I
Right.
wanted to come back, but I just knew my body. But my thing is, Jason walked away with his health. Travis needs to walk away with his health. Tom Brady walked away with his health. Peyton Manning walked away with his health. Cam Newton didn't really walk away with his health.
And
I mean,
Travis,
he did, but
you're
also Cam
35.
hasn't officially retired.
You're 35, Travis. You made all that money. You got 3
Think about it.
rings.
Think about
You're the
this.
best tight end in history.
Here's the things for Trav, right?
Right.
You're rich on your own. You're
Right.
dating a billionaire.
Right.
You can travel the world on her private jet and go
Right.
wherever you want to go. You've got your podcast with your brother. You've got
Right.
TV and movie opportunities because of who you're dating.
Right.
More because of who you're dating, but you have them regardless because you're Travis Kelsey.
Right.
You're gonna be fine.
You got
You
3.
don't have to keep playing.
You're the best, arguably the best tight end in history.
I don't think it's an
What?
argument. I think he is the best in history. He's got. I think the thing that keeps him coming back though, and this is why I said I think if he wins it, it wouldn't have been a discussion. He would have retired. I think he wants to tie Gronk because Gronk's got 4 Super Bowl rings,
Right.
and that's the guy that he's in debate with to being the greatest tight end of all time.
Right.
It's not Shannon Sharp. It's not
Tony
George Kittle.
Gonzalez.
It's not Tony Gonzalez.
Not Mike
It's Gronk.
Ditka. Not Antonio
It's Gronk.
Gates.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Gronk. I think that's the only thing that would keep him come back is if he can't get that 4th Super Bowl. But here's my thing: when you talk about the Chiefs, they've also got a lot of free agents that they
Yep.
got to re-sign.
Chris
So
Jones
they're
is
not.
getting
They're
older.
not.
Chris Jones is
Chris
getting
Jones.
older.
Chris Jones is getting older. He might retire. Mahomes is the only one I think on that team that's got Super Bowl rings that probably won't retire or wouldn't
Right.
question it.
Right.
And he's honestly the only one that's going to be back in Kansas City. Like the rest of them are free agents. Travis
Well, here's the
also
thing.
has
Remember, he's got that big contract. He could restructure so they could get more money to bring in more talent.
I think Pat restructures anyway. But
Yeah.
Travis is also like a $19 million cap hit. So if he retires, then they free that money up.
And Chris Jones, he turns 31 this year. So he's
I
going to
think Chris
get
Jones
older.
retires. I think Chris Jones retires next year.
Ah,
Honestly.
I give him a couple more years.
Well, my
Or
thing is
when
there's
his
not a lot-
contract
there's not a lot of
ends.
there's not a lot of defensive linemen that play really past like 32.
Eh,
And it's a lot harder on their bodies. Like Travis, yes, Travis is 36 or 35.
he's
He's a tight
35.
end. But
Yeah.
also, Travis isn't getting hit every play.
Chris Jones is.
Yeah. Or he's hitting somebody else.
Right.
Jason, I think, played longer than he should have. But he mulled over retirement for 3 years. Now, this is the second year we've heard Travis say something about retirement. But I think seeing his brother retire last year, seeing the opportunities that opened up for his brother, a center, to go do ESPN, to go do these things, I think Travis retires. Now,
Me too. Me too.
do I want to see Travis retire? Yes and no. Yes, because I want to see him leave the game with his health and leave the game with the legacy of being the greatest tight end of all time.
And leaving
But
on
no,
his terms. And on
right.
his terms.
But also no, because I kind of want to see if the Chiefs can win next year.
I don't think they're going to make it because here's the thing. With all the free agents that's coming up, I
Yeah.
don't think they're going to make it back to the Super Bowl. Because like I said this to myself a couple weeks ago, a couple days
Yeah.
ago. There could be a team in the AFC that may have been dormant last year, but could be on the rise this year because there's going to be other teams hunting for the Chiefs. There
Yeah.
could be that one team besides the Bills and the Ravens that could step up and rise.
Yeah, the Bengals.
It happens every year.
It'd be the Bengals if they had a defense.
And the Chargers if they bring in some help for Justin Herbert.
Yeah. But
And
I mean, I don't know,
Houston,
dude.
when
We can laugh.
When Houston gets healthy, Houston.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we can laugh at the Chiefs all we want because I mean, it was. Hey, you know what I loved about it? So Taylor
What?
Swift has a song called 22.
Right,
She talks about feeling 22.
right.
How many points did the Chiefs score?
We gotta end it.
No, you know what my other favorite thing is? No. You know what my other favorite thing is? So Travis Kelce was on Stephen A. Smith's show a couple weeks ago. After either right before playoffs or right after the first round. And you know what he said on there?
What? What?
Him and Stephen A. No, it was before the Bills game. Before the Bills game. Stephen A. asked him how he was feeling, how his body's feeling. Now, look at me, Rodney, because I want to see your reaction. I want to say it. Travis said, he kind of smiled, and he goes, I'm feeling 22, baby. Now, isn't that ironic? He said he's feeling 22. They scored 22 points in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we
And
got
his
it.
girlfriend has a song called 22.
We gotta end it. We gotta end it. We gotta end it.
Okay, in all seriousness, yeah.
We gotta
In all seriousness, though, we appreciate you guys hanging on and chilling with us for the last 2 hours. Because it's been live for 2 hours. It didn't feel like 2 hours until like
No.
20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Rodney, how you feeling, brother?
Oh man. I don't
You know what's
know.
crazy?
I don't know. What?
I'll be 22 in like 5 months.
Okay, yeah. Guys, follow me on my Instagram, RJK underscore forever two. Follow me on my TikTok and my YouTube, RJK forever four. Make sure you follow Nick Beasley on Patreon, where we have all the exclusive videos and all of our content. It, like he said, it's only $1 a month. $1.
$1. $1. One little dollar bill.
It's not 20. Just be happy, guys. It's not $22 a month.
So I'll go into why, because I've had people ask me why I decided to make it $1 instead of like $10, $15. Because to be honest with you, I don't know how often I'll be posting on there, but also I don't want to make people not want to subscribe because of it being too expensive. Because I understand, when you subscribe to something like Netflix or like Peacock, you can be paying $15 to $20 a month and you forget about it. You subscribe to me for $1 a month, that's just one less dollar every month. Now, if you can't afford it, I understand. Like if you have a lot of bills to pay, a house payment, car payment, stuff like that, and you don't make a whole lot, I understand. but I tried to make it. I literally made it as cheap as Patreon would allow me to make it, and it's only one tier, and you get everything on that tier. I don't have like a tier 1 for $1 and then tier 4 for, 15 or because some creators do that. They'll do like tier 1 $5, tier 2 10, tier 3 15, tier 4 20. It's just $1 a month. The link will be in my YouTube bio soon. I'll also be pinning it on Twitter very soon as well. And it's not just me that you're supporting, you're also supporting Rodney. So if you're friends with Rodney and you want to support him and his career along with me, that's how you can do it. And again, it's $1. And look, it's not a lot, but you'll get exclusive draft stuff. You'll get exclusive tier list. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let us know in the comments what you'd like to see on Patreon, and we'll put it in there. Some of our stuff has already been posted on YouTube. I'm going to move over to Patreon. Just to have more stuff on there. $1 a month, that's all it is. And it's Nick Beasley Wrestling on Patreon. Like I said, the link will be in my YouTube bio at some point. Be pinned on Twitter. I'll share the link with people. And I shared it with Rodney. So if you know Rodney and want the link, Rodney's got the link. Love y'all. Thank y'all for watching these videos or subscribing to the channel or whatever you do. Subscribe. It'll always be free to subscribe on here. I'm never going to ask you to pay money to watch this stuff. But there is at some point, and me and Rodney have had this discussion, where we do need to start making some type of money off of this. And we'd like for it to be sooner than later. And we'd like to start making money in 2025 off of this. But this, you'll never have to pay to watch. It'll always be free. Patreon will be a little bit different, but it's only $1. So, thank y'all. Love y'all. Rodney, anything else you want to say?
Let's just hope that, people don't catch 22.
All right, we're done.